Hi, my name is Joan Kang, and I work in the Career Services Center at Santa Monica College as one of the three senior career services advisors. And today I'm going to talk to you about developing your personal statement and responses to supplemental questions for those STEM undergraduate research program applications that you might be applying to this year or the following year. Some of the topics I will be talking about today include one, I will share with you a general overview or definition of the term personal statement. Two, I will go over the format and structure of a personal statement needed for a STEM undergraduate research program. Three, I'll also provide you with what things you may or may not want to share in your personal statement. Four, some of the STEM undergraduate research programs available may even ask you to provide answers to typical supplemental questions, and I will share with you some examples of those types of questions. And finally, I'll point out campus departments who might be able to provide feedback on your personal statement. Many of the STEM undergraduate research applications will require applicants to submit a personal statement. Many selection committees may even view this document as a core part of your application, setting you apart from other candidates, allowing you to show your personality and passions. Think of the personal statement as your opportunity to introduce yourself, your background, relevant experiences, knowledge of that STEM field, goals, and how all of this has shaped your interests to the selection committee. It is your way of adding your voice to the mixture that they call the application. A personal statement also allows applicants to include any additional information that isn't shared in your application or apparent in other parts of your application to connect the pieces of your story together. Your goal is to draw a direct line from their program to you. It might seem like common sense, but make sure you allow yourself some time to plan out your personal statement. This is key. It does take time to write a well-crafted personal statement, and although it might be tempting to write a generic statement or use the same personal statement for all of your applications, don't. You will want to make sure you target your personal statement to each specific program you're applying to. Therefore, do your research on each program you're applying to. Pay attention to see if the program you're applying to may also have a prompt. Analyze what they're asking you to share. Visualize who might be reading your personal statement. Overall, ultimately, what you include is up to you. But here on this slide are some guidelines related to the format and structure of a personal statement. And for the next couple of slides, I will also go over some of the things you might want to share with your selection committee. Your personal statement should have a somewhat academic structure to it. That is, it should include an introduction, body, and conclusion that flows from sentence to sentence and paragraph to paragraph. In your introduction, your goal is to spark the reader's attention, make them excited about your application. Some students even begin with a personal story as their hook. From your hook, transition into your thesis statement, which describes the theme of your personal statement. Your body of your statement should be the bulk of your document. It should address your thesis statement as well as answer any program prompts. Therefore, your body will include things you have been doing as an undergraduate student, what is inside of you that makes you want to participate in that program, your enthusiasm for that specific work you're applying to do, what you can contribute to the program, what is next in your academic and career journey, aspects about that program that show a good fit for you, any goals, etc. Conclude your statement by summarizing what you previously shared. Connect it back to how you hooked them in the beginning of your statement. Now let's talk about the page requirement. Most personal statements are between 1 to 2 pages and single-spaced. However, check the actual program you're applying to for specific requirements. Some applications have specific character, word, or page counts. In your personal statement, you will also want to maintain a positive and professional tone. use strong word choices, and write in active voice. You can also talk about the challenges and mistakes you made along the way as a learning experience, but don't make excuses. Write it affirmatively, that is, in a way that shows your perseverance. And to help you brainstorm even more, here are things selection committees are looking for in a personal statement. 1, who are you? In your personal statement, share your academic and career goals. What school you're attending, where you're at in your studies, when are you planning to transfer, and what is your major? If you identify as underrepresented in STEM, first gen, non-traditional, veteran status, etc., feel free to share this information if you're comfortable disclosing it. But also make sure that you share why it is important for them to know that information. Explain how these ways you identify are a strength and how it will allow you to succeed. 2, you will also want to include why you're interested in that program and how will participating in that program be beneficial. Share with the committee why you'd want to do research, how you got to that point, why you like that particular field of study, and how participating in their program is the next logical step. You will also want to include supporting information to your thoughts. Don't just provide a general statement. Therefore, you might want to include such things as any educational, personal, and/or work experience that has contributed to your interest. Make sure you also do your research on the program you're applying to. Look at what research that the program is conducting and include any specific projects, curriculum equipment, or curriculum that excite you and why. Answer why them. Again, why you, why them. Continuing on, you will want to make sure you share how the program you're applying to aligns with your academic and career goals. How do you plan to use what you hope to gain towards your goals? In your personal statement, don't forget to highlight your strengths. What are qualities, skills, and characteristics that you can bring to that program? Share how you are prepared to succeed in that program. Give them examples. Finally, here are additional areas the committee may want to hear from you. 1, if you happen to have any gaps or weaknesses in your application, this is where you have the option of sharing the information to the committee. However, don't focus so much on a gap or weaknesses, nor list excuses. Instead, focus on more what you've learned from that experience. Turn that gap or weakness into a strength and keep your tone positive. 2, another aspect you have the option of sharing is your interest in receiving mentorship. Share why you're interested in looking for mentors. What do you hope to learn from a mentor relationship, and what can you contribute? In addition to a personal statement, there are research applications that also ask you to submit short answers to supplemental questions. Here on the slide are examples of research application supplemental questions. While both personal statements and supplemental questions are important parts of the application process, they do serve different roles in helping the selection committee understand you better. Your personal statement is mainly used to highlight your growth through examples or stories while highlighting your strengths. Supplemental questions are written to answer specific aspects or things about why you should be selected to participate in that program. They also typically have a word or character count. And even if you feel you've answered a question in your personal statement, don't answer the supplemental question with the phrase, "see my personal statement." Finally, here are some additional tips and suggestions to help you with your application process. 1, do your research. Read through the research program's website and any other program information available to you. Review the application materials. Based on your research, tailor your personal statement, supplemental questions, and the rest of your application to that program. One size does not fit all. 2, make sure you speak to the audience. Your application will most likely be read by different types of people, from faculty leads, program administrators, and even students, such as the graduate and undergraduates currently involved in that research project you're applying to. These individuals might also have some part in deciding if you'll be in their next uh, if you'll be their next research scholar. 3, in your application, make sure you have done a good job at distinguishing you from other applicants. This is why you want to share your skills, experiences, interests, etc. 4, share your application materials with your faculty, academic counselors, career services team, references, etc., and ask them if they have some time to review your application and provide feedback before you submit your actual application. As an SMC student, you have access to various resources. 1, the Career Services Center provides information on how to explore your career and major in depth, whether you have a major in mind or you are undecided. We also share with students employment related resources, whether it is focused on finding and applying to a job, internship, research, and or volunteer opportunity, to assisting with resume and cover letter writing, interviewing skills, etc. Don't wait until your last semester to see us. We suggest meeting with us at the beginning of your academic journey here at SMC and throughout your time as a student. After learning about the skills you need in an industry from the career services team, it is important to share the information with your academic counselor. Your academic counselor can help you create an ed plan that includes both your major, transfer, and career related goals. There are academic counselors in the Transfer Center, but you could also find academic counselors in various programs here on campus, including but not limited to Veterans, International, Adelante, Black Collegians, EOPS, etc. Here at SMC, we also have a STEM program that is specifically geared to support your STEM goals, and that includes STEM academic counselors, workshops, tutoring, etc. The STEM program is open to all STEM majors. You don't have to apply to utilize most of the resources provided by the STEM program. However, there is a STEM Mass program within the STEM program that does require an application. Talk to the STEM program for more information on the Mass program. They are currently located in Dresser Hall on the 3rd floor. And finally, to help you with your writing needs, you can access 2 resources here on campus. 1, the Writing and Humanities Tutoring Center, which provides support in any subject at any stage of the writing process. They are also located in Dresser Hall. You can check out their website to see when they are available for support. And 2, the English 1 e-course, which is an online writing consultation class that offers feedback on rough drafts. You could add this class by requesting the ad code on their website. If you're interested in reaching out to us in the Career Services Center, which I hope you are, here's more information about us. You can book appointments with us via our website. You can also ask to meet with a certain person or discuss a certain career topic or career center resource. We are located in the Student Services Center on the 1st floor. Our phone number and email can also be found on our website. I also want to promote our social media accounts, specifically our Instagram and YouTube accounts. On our Instagram page, you will be able to find career-related tips to job internships, research, and volunteer opportunities. We also cross-promote other campus-related events. And then finally, our YouTube channel is where you could find any past workshop recordings and videos. If you are looking to meet with me in particularly, I am also located in the Career Services Center here at SMC. The best way to reach me is to email me directly versus calling my direct line. If you're in need of an appointment, please let me know for what reason and your availability Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m.